Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Black Quant VTF here, T3 Live with the weekly market review, and we are all about the headline risk and all that kind of stuff, which has been great if you can hold off and wait for it. If you go to the SPY, you're going to see this. See, we gapped up in here today, and so this is a 60 minutes, so what you want to do, here, remove all the trend lines. Now, do we know that outside bars exist? We do. Did this take out these? Did. You want to see something? Right there. And right here is your broadening formation. So you had it hold up higher level in here. You can see this higher high, lower low. We had a triangle in here that comes up in there. And then the great thing about holding off on stuff is that you have, we know that there's going to be headline risk. And if you just wait for it, you can see the end of the day, boom, there it is. Boom, that's great. You know, if you can wait to get in on stuff like that, and there you go, 3-2. Is this an outside 15er? Boom. Even if you miss the first 15 minutes of this, you're coming into the end of the day on a Friday where you can get those cheap options and stuff like that. And then boom, here, when that takes it, you can go to 297 put. Boom, right there. Beautiful. So what that does set up on the daily here is we take out these highs. Right, so we can redraw this to here because these highs got taken out. Now we set up a 2-2 reversal back to the downside because what we've seen here in the back and forth here, down, 2 down, 2-2 reversal up, 2 up, 2 reversal down. Right now, how do we get out of this come Monday morning? So if we go to the monthly, once again, we're back into this range, handily, pretty much doing nothing, just day to day. Next week we start earnings season, and so the broader averages in general going back and forth on every tweet, every news. Next week we will be focusing on those earnings gaps in reverse and gap and go. So SPY for the week doesn't go inside week; it takes that out, right? But you can see this stuck in this range here. So as we come into earnings season, we're going to be focusing on those, right, specifically, because you had like stuff like Apple today go to new all-time highs, right here, new all-time highs, and then right at the end, he got you, boom, right back down to the lows. You can see this outside bar here, 2 up, boom, right here on the 5-minute. When this takes this out, our magnitude's down to here, which it did. You also had beyond the meets. So here's one of the things that's important is when you see the market gapping up and powering higher like it did today, the easier play is things that have full time frame continuity to the downside. Why? Because there has to be natural sellers in there, right? Because we've gapped up, the broader averages are going up. So do we have natural sellers and beyond? We did. Today, monthly, is it red? It is. Weekly, inside week to the downside, below 141.10. There you go, almost $10 on that weekly. Daily, is it red? It is. 60. Anytime the 60 is red, it's go time, right? So that's beautiful. There's some entries here, I believe 15s, and here. This is what you wait for. I want to make sure you see this. Outside bar, poke up 3, inside, boom, right here. There you go, below 132.57. So some nice stuff in there. But coming into next week, without question, it's earnings season, and we want to wait for those to come out because if you go to the broader averages, once again, SPY, you always want to start at a monthly at least. What are we doing this month? Nothing, right? We've attempted to fail here, but that didn't happen. So now we're coming back up. You can see this 4-month range. Very tight compared to stuff like here and here and here. So we're not getting that out of the broader averages. Now, we might go all the way. So what we want to know is if we're going to go to new highs, we want to know the opening of the month was 297.74. If we can take that out, then we'll talk about going to new highs next week. As far as the broader average is concerned. But what we want to do is completely stay on these gappers because that's really what earnings season is about. Because what it comes down to now is there's all this uncertainty, trade, and we know that's going to go back and forth. However, company specific going to come out. Did you meet your earnings? Did you not? What is your expectations? All that kind of stuff, and that's really what's going to come down to next week. So outside of this, broader averages, day to day, right? Day to day in here. When you're chopping around day to day, look at this, down, down. What's this day? Oh, look, at this point, this would have been blood red to the downside, right? But as soon as it takes this, right, the opening of the day, now we're reverse back, now reverse back, reverse back. And we can expect that, obviously, from these. The news is constantly vague or false. Be like, okay, it's kind of a deal, it's kind of a not, it's a stuff like that. So you can expect that. You can always want to keep your stops in tight on this kind of stuff because it can hit at any time, and especially when it gets really sleepy or on a Friday. I mean, look at this. We're coming into the end of the day and be like, okay, it's a gap and hold and blah blah blah, and then boom, seemingly out of nowhere, it's coming. All right. I mean, if you must be new here if you don't, right? And boom, to the downside. So to start off the week, monthly is back in last month's range in the SPY. Weekly is not inside; it's a 2 up, but you're nowhere near taking that out. Well, you're closer to taking the upside. But on the daily, you're closer to taking the downside as we go shooting star here with the potential back into this gap. Obviously, a lot of earnings or news is going to come out, but I can't stress enough that now coming into next week, earnings season, and that's when I tweet out hashtag mind the gap, right? And we do that, right? And so that's what we want to know. Our gap's in reverse, our gap can continue as the broader averages chop back and forth because we don't have a definitive direction in the broader averages. So that's what we're going to do. So hope everybody had a great week and has an even better weekend. I'm Rob Smith, the Black Quant VTF here with a weekly market review.